Ladies and gentlemen, we are here for the children of the world. But first, with a show of hands, how many of you represent the corporate sector? How many of you represent civil society or an intergovernmental organization? How many of you are researchers? Ooh.
Not too many.
How many of you are advocates for children's rights? All of us are here for a common purpose. I need the clicker.
The clicker, it's here. Fiona.
Thank you. To achieve our goals, we need up-to-date information. We need data. We need to share what we have learned. And we need tools to make informed decisions, to help us pave the way towards positive change to benefit the world's children. I'm extremely proud to be here with all of you today and our partner, Unicef, to launch this exciting tool for all of us to use in our daily work and in our analysis for decision making. The Global Child Forum and UNICEF's Children's Rights and Business Atlas is a first of its kind. It's a free online tool. Now, this amount of data has never been gathered and analyzed and accessible and shareable in this way. It includes country and industry level data for 198 countries and territories and 10 industry sectors. The Children's Rights and Business Atlas uses the Children's Rights and Business Principles as its foundation. Together, we developed 7 indices that correspond directly to the principles. For example, for Children's Rights Business Principle number 6, that ensures that marketing and advertising respect and support children's rights, we developed a corresponding Children's Rights in Marketing and Advertising Index. The Atlas is an online risk assessment tool. It measures industry's respect and support for children's rights. It measures states' protection of children's rights. And importantly, the Atlas highlights areas for positive and proactive change around children's rights. I am excited to launch this interactive database tool. It will help us as a group to move forward on children's rights, whether you represent the corporate sector, academia, civil society, or are an advocate for children's rights. I am confident that further tools and conversations will be generated from this atlas tonight and beyond. Dr. Franco from Unicef will share concrete examples of how the atlas will be used.
Thanks, Fiona. Sorry that I don't call you doctor. That's why I'd love to be with professors and among health officials, because they always call me doctor. but you can call me Andrés as well. It's okay,
Okay.
it's totally fine. Totally fine. Well, thank you so much. Fiona, we're also extremely excited to launch this product, and we've had quite an intense year of work to put this together, and we will have a very intense year next year also to continue to polish this product. But I think from our perspective, our main challenge was that we have the principles, the child rights and business principles, and for us it was really crucial to put indicators to these principles, because it's very easy to enunciate them, but we actually wanted to know, okay, in particular, what does it mean with specific indicators? So this is actually an amazing tool to trigger the right kind of assessments that we actually want companies to do. So when we talk companies, of course, we're talking about global companies, like many of the ones that are here represented, or regional companies, many of which are quite sophisticated, but we also want national companies in countries, and I think that the role that the forum is playing in the national dialogues, like the one we recently had in Southern Africa, that's also a big challenge, to get those national businesses in those countries to use this tool, to use the information that is here so that they trigger the right kind of assessment, the right kind of understanding in terms of the impacts that could be delivered and the risks that are out there, and the right kind of plan to mitigate those risks. So it varies a lot from country to country. It varies a lot from industry to industry. We have national averages, and we've built indexes with national averages, and we hope to even dig further so that we can go as local as possible. So if there's a company going to a little province in the middle of Nigeria, hopefully we will have the indicators up there in the future. That's like the horizon, so that that assessment can take place. What are examples of what can be done? I think many of them have been mentioned during the day, but I mean, if I had to make a list of 2 or 3, I think there's been a lot of work, a lot of conversations today around supply chains. There have been conversations about procurement, and there's also been conversations about foreign direct investment. So for instance, right now, some of the, where I would like to see this used is, for instance, in the mega sports events. These are businesses delivering huge child rights impacts when actually they happen. And it would be very interesting if they could use this atlas to begin the assessment of how those mega sports events actually deliver impacts on children, do the assessments, do the planning, and actually establish plans of actions. It's actually quite stimulating too if you want to see breastfeeding, exclusive breastfeeding. You can see country by country, if it's growing, if it's decreasing, and then you perhaps can look at your marketing strategies and see, okay, am I totally complying with the International Court of Marketing and Breastfeeding Substitutes? Then do the assessment, go ahead with the plan of action. With chocolate and cocoa, there's been interesting talk about West Africa. There is another example where you can actually expand beyond child labor and look at other indicators on children that actually get affected by many of the companies that are buying there. Minerals in the DRC, mining companies in Peru, sourcing palm oil in Indonesia. I mean, there are a lot of uses that we can do around the areas of supply chain, foreign direct investment, and procurement. So thank you, Fiona, for this journey. I think from our perspective, this is just the beginning. And I think next year is going to be very exciting as we test, improve. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Just wanted to check, you know, get a lot of information in my ear. I think there was is there a question from the app, or did I misunderstood? Yes, there is a question. Here it is. So let's put it now. How is it ensured that the atlas is updated and remains relevant? Franco or Rotberg?
Yes. I was going to actually conclude and include this information in my conclusion, which is that this is the launch. This is the beginning. The atlas will be updated annually, and it will become better, stronger, and even more useful than it is today on the first day. So we encourage you to use it, we encourage you to test it, and we want all of you to be involved in its development and in making it even more successful.
Okay, and I think it's time for Joka Brand to comment upon this. Or shall we take Greg before? Yes, let's start with Greg first. Mr. Greg Preece from Ikea. I'd love to hear your comments on this.
Thank you. Thank you very much for the invitation to comment. I'm squeeze in between. It is an extremely exciting opportunity we have here with the tool. I very rarely am presented something that, as a customer, which I will be here, I can immediately use. I mean, we can start using this today. We already have people talking at, when can we get it? When can we use it? Because maybe let me touch on the challenges that exist without it. As a company, a home furnishings company that is global in nature, our own operations, our supply chain, we have high ambitions for ourselves with regards to human rights, with children's rights, with sustainability as a whole. We have a long history of working with children's rights, the prevention of child labor, the root causes of child labor through the Ikea Foundation, and in great partnerships with Unicef and Save the Children. But to be able to make, as you noticed, or as you said, really timely decisions that can really direct the strategy and actions where you want to go, it's been very difficult because you've relied on your personal experience, your company experience, your partner's experience, and hopefully some research has been done in the areas where you need to go. This tool allows you to immediately go from regional to drill down to countries, to then look across sectors, which is so important for us because we work across so many different sectors. If I can use a concrete example is principle number 3 of the Children's Rights and Business Principles, decent work for young workers. It's a priority for us going forward, both in our own operations and at our suppliers. But the landscape for this is so different across the world, and what is expected and what the challenges are. This will allow us to really concretely, quickly drill down to country level, within countries, looked at sectors within that. It will get even more detailed as we go along and build it. And it will allow not only me sitting in our head office, but our business teams in the area to access it because it is a fantastic price. That we will be able to access it across the whole company and make decisions in almost real time and really take actions, and best yet, to develop the types of activities that are going to be impactful. What is needed? Is it development opportunities? Is it compliance opportunities? Is it something to do with advocacy towards government policy? Who should we partner with to do this? This helps us and supports us to make those decisions. So thank you. It's really a great tool. One thing I will not do with it is I will not use the R word because I do not believe it is a tool to look at risk. I think it is a great tool to look at opportunities. It's an empowerment tool for companies to take that next step, to strengthen their business, and to really have a positive impact wherever they do business.
An opportunity atlas.
It is,
yes.
Absolutely.
Actually, we have another question here from the audience, so let's see what that is. What is the incentive for businesses to be a part of the Children's Rights Atlas?
Well, I hope I answered that a little bit. It is really if you have a children's rights approach to your business, you're going to make better decisions about the sustainability of your business. You're going to have a stronger business. You don't make good decisions ignoring children's rights. You strengthen it. And by having this, empowering the whole company to be involved with it, it will just help and strengthen the business.
Brilliant. And I know also that Ms. Joka Brand from Unicef wants to comment upon this. She's in the audience and she has a microphone.
Right, I'm right here, Lydia.
Where are you?
Yeah, right in front of you. No, and I will not even come up to the stage because I think Andrés and Fiona have actually explained it very well. Just to say that Unicef is extremely proud that we've been working together to actually create this tool, because I think it is very important that we have a sort of set of tools that will indeed inspire and trigger action. So this one is, I think, a very special one because of the opportunity to sort of focus, as you just said, from the global to the regional to the very local level. Lots of work still to be done, as Andrés and Fiona has said. But I think it's going to be a great addition to the Child Rights Toolkit. So thank you very much for all the work that you've done on it.
Thank you. And before we thank the speakers here, Fiona, during the break here, you will have the possibility to test the atlas. Just brief, what can you do?
That's right. There will be 2 volunteers from Verarisk Maplecroft out here in the hallway on the way to the coffee break. And Verarisk Maplecroft are the people who have helped us build the data behind the atlas. And they have 2 iPads. And they have the atlas open and ready, so anyone who wants to go through it, test it, please feel free to do so, and give them immediate feedback.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Excellent.
Thank you.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you, and good luck.